Attention passionate Chicago, Bears fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Chicago Bears' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Chicago Bears fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Chicago Bears fans. Let's get to the news, so folks, hold on tight because we've got some electrifying rumors swirling around that could reshape the NFC North and send shockwaves through the league. Word on the street, coming from whispers and insiders like Diana Rossini, is that the Kansas City Chiefs are eyeing a potential blockbuster trade, one that could see none other than Chris Jones heading to the Chicago Bears. Yeah, you heard that right. The Chiefs, currently sitting at a disappointing 6-10 after their peak years with Patrick Mahomes, are reportedly exploring the idea of moving their star defensive tackle in exchange for a first-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. And if that happens, it could be a game-changer for the Bears, not just in terms of talent, but also in how they approach their future rebuild. Now, let's set the scene here. The Chiefs are in a bit of a transitional phase. Mahomes is still incredible, but the team around him is shifting. They're over $50 million in dead cap space for 2026, and they're prioritizing young offensive line prospects, trying to build for a future beyond their current Super Bowl window. So, it makes sense that they'd look to trade veteran players like Jones, who's been a dominant force on the interior line. The idea is to free up cap space and get draft capital, especially considering they have around $16 million in cap space for 2025, but are looking at a tougher financial situation next year. Chris Jones, folks, isn't just any player. This guy is a true volcano on the defensive line. Think of an avalanche that just keeps coming, unceasing pressure, disruption, and sacks. Over his career, he's amassed an incredible 84. 5 sacks, 334 tackles, 18 forced fumbles, and 48 QB hits. Pro Football Focus, PFF, has him graded at an elite 92. And his pass rush win rate is a staggering 24.5%, making him one of the best defensive tackles in the league. His EPA, expected points added per snap, is 0. 16 in the run game, and he's accumulated 418 pressures. In 2025 alone, he's already tallied 5 sacks, 24 tackles, including 13 solo and 2 forced fumbles, all while maintaining his elite performance versus the run, with a win rate of 26%. This guy is a disruptor. Imagine what he could do in a Bears uniform. Now, why would the Bears want him? Well, after finishing last season at 11-5 and making the playoffs, the Bears are not content with just being decent. They're aiming to take that next step, and adding a force like Jones on the interior would turbocharge their defense. Chicago has been working to rebuild their D-line, but they need that game-changing talent that can elevate the entire unit. Gervon Dexter, a promising young player, is part of the plan, and restructuring his deal could free up around $9 million. The Bears are also sitting on a negative cap situation, around $5 million, mainly because of injuries like Sewell's IR stint, but they're actively reworking contracts to create space. Adding Jones would be like flipping a switch. His presence would not only improve the pass rush, but also help control the line of scrimmage, freeing up their linebackers and secondary to make plays. Think of the impact he could have in the NFC North, especially against divisional rivals like the Lions and Packers. His ability to disrupt third downs, where he already has a plus 24% disruption rate against the Lions, would make life miserable for opposing offenses. The Bears are already building towards a playoff push, and a player of Jones's caliber could be the X factor that pushes them over the edge. And let's not forget the historical context. The Bears have always been a team that values interior disruption. Remember the impact of players like Buckner in 2020, whose trade turbocharged the Colts' pass rush with over 100 pressures that season. Bringing in a player like Jones is reminiscent of those kinds of moves, adding a piece that can transform the entire defense. The Bears are also eyeing a potential boost in their Super Bowl odds, which have been adjusted from plus 5,000 to plus 3,000 after recent developments. With Jones, that number could drop even further, especially as they aim to become a serious contender in the NFC. So what would this mean for Chicago? It's an all-in move, a statement that the Bears are serious about competing now. Jones's addition would also set the tone for their defensive identity, powerful, disruptive, and relentless. It's the kind of move that could turn the Bears into a true interior powerhouse, capable of intimidating opponents and dominating the line of scrimmage for years to come. The partnership with players like Billings could be the next step in building a defense that rivals some of the best in the league, reminiscent of the dominant lineups seen in championship teams like the Rams and Patriots in recent years. Of course, nothing is guaranteed until the trade is finalized, but the whispers are growing louder. The Bears, with their cap flexibility and young core, are in a prime position to make a bold move. And with Kansas City seeking to retool their roster for the long haul, this could be a perfect match, an opportunity for the Bears to acquire a top-tier talent and accelerate their rebuild. If this deal goes through, it might just be the move that elevates Chicago from a promising team to a serious Super Bowl contender in the near future. Now, looking ahead, adding Chris Jones would also give the Bears a much-needed boost in their pass rush, which has been inconsistent at times. With pressures and sacks increasing, they could turn into a nightmare for offenses in the NFC North. The division is already competitive, but with a dominant interior presence, the Bears could become the team everyone fears. And considering their current roster and the young talent they're cultivating, this addition could be the final piece that pushes them over the top. This potential trade also sends a message to the rest of the league and to their division rivals. The Bears aren't just building for the future, they're ready to compete now. They're willing to make bold moves, invest in their defense, and put themselves in the best position to chase a playoff run and hopefully a Super Bowl. The NFC North is shaping up to be one of the most exciting divisions in the league, and the possibility of Jones switching sides adds an extra layer of intrigue. So as fans, we need to stay tuned. This story isn't over yet, but it's shaping up to be one of the most significant developments of the offseason. The Bears are making moves, and if they land Chris Jones, it could be the start of something special. The kind of move that defines eras, that changes narratives, and that gets Chicago fans dreaming even bigger about their team's future. And now, Chicago Bears fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Chicago Bears. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Chicago Bears news.